Hello my wonderful Virgos, how are we doing? Thank you so much for joining me for your March 2018 tarot reading. I've given these cards a really good shuffle and I've seen so many, oh my goodness, the themes in these readings have all been so similar this month, but I'm not going to say anything just yet because let's just see what comes out, okay? Right, Virgo, March Tarot 2018. Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising. What messages have we got for Virgo? Okay, death. Death. I'm not surprised to see that. Okay, Virgo, here we go. Right, so this is how you are opening up the month. Wow, okay. Serious business. Okay, this is the environment around you. Oh, I like it. Okay, people around you. Jesus. Virgo. Can we say on fire? This is your advice. Bloody hell. Okay. Okay, and this is how we're finishing up the month. Let's just take a moment, Virgo, to have a little look at this. I hope you can see all of this clearly. Maybe move them down so that this one's not out of shot. Wow. Okay, we are feeling this. This is quite something. So, first of all, we can say, Virgo, you are dealing with issues of, matters of, let me say instead, endings, beginnings, transformation, death, emergence, manifestation. This is powerful energy here, Virgo. And how interesting we had that full moon, or we have that full moon right at the beginning of this month, okay? Bringing, and it's in your sign, right? So bringing matters to do with Virgo to a head. And it was beautifully trined, but at the same time it was what do you call it? It was opposing Neptune. Okay, so Virgo, you're coming in and you're saying something is changing. Something is changing, or something around me is causing huge, massive change and massive shift. Okay, massive change, massive shift energy. Okay, now with the Tower, what we tend to think is with the Tower, it tends to be outside forces or something outside of us that causes this change. So with the Tower, there tends to be a feeling of a lack of control, right? But with the fact that death came out like this, you know, it's telling me that I feel like you're coming into this month and you're saying some things need to go. And they're things I've known about for some time, right? They need to go. And you've been wanting to let them go. You've been wanting to transform them. But I think something outside of you is going to provide the impetus for this change, okay? So whether it is something someone says to you, something that happens at work or within a relationship, it may well be to do with relationships, is almost like, okay, I'm ready to accept the change. I'm ready to accept the falling away of the old me, the falling away of the old way in which I viewed myself, and I'm ready to accept the death. So I feel like, I mean, you know, Virgos, you've been dealing with things to do with transformation, issues of transformation for some time now. But you know what it's like when it's, sometimes we can transform so much and there's just that one thing, that we know that we're still hanging on to, that needs to go, and for some reason, even though we want to change it, it's not happening. I feel like something gets triggered at the beginning of this month that finally allows you to press the red button. Do you know what I mean? That finally allows you to go, okay, no, it's time now. I'm ready now. And it may well be to do with heartache. Okay, it can be to do with loss, it can be to do with disappointment, it can be to do with betrayal. I feel like something's happened in your love life for a lot of you Virgos. It may not be your love life, it could be at work as well. But for a lot of you, there's some feeling of disappointment. Now, whether you're reflecting on past loves, whether you're reflecting on the patterns that you got into and the habits that you get into in relationships, something's happened that's caused you to feel a bit of a pang in your heart. Now, I don't feel like it's this huge end of the world situation. For some of you, this may well be breakup energy, okay? For some of you, this may well be breakup energy. But I don't feel like it's anything that you didn't see coming. It's almost like you've finally gotten the lesson underneath why you do what you do as it relates to men or women, you know, whoever it is you date. It's like, now I know why I go after emotionally unavailable people, or now I know why I say I don't want to commit to someone, and then I'll date them for a while, and then I'll just get completely hooked on them and make them my everything. Whatever it is, it's like I'm getting this understanding, and I'm giving up. I'm getting the monkey off my shoulder. And I feel like it seems to me like you're willingly throwing yourself into the fire of transformation. That's how I'm seeing it. It's like you're willingly doing it. And the weird thing is, well, not even the weird thing, I feel like you're making heartache your ally. You're making the pain of heartache your ally. Now, whether this be to do with, this can even relate to like jobs, you know, maybe you've been fired, or maybe the job, like, I don't know, there's some sort of disappointment at work or whatever. Whatever it is, many things can cause this heartache. It doesn't just have to be romance, does it? It can be anything. But it feels like whatever it is, this is not the first time you've experienced it. This is a pattern that's happened time and time and time again. And it's caused you disappointment. It's caused you to feel fear. It's caused you to feel scared and heartbroken. But the thing that kept you trapped in, and I hope this makes sense, the thing that kept you trapped in that cycle of repeating this thing over and over again was avoiding the pain, trying to avoid the pain. And sometimes the only way we can really learn the lesson is by going through the pain, by feeling it, going into it, so that we come out the other side and we are renewed, okay? And I feel like you're doing that. I feel like in between these two cards, it's like this. It's like, you know what? Break me open. I don't care anymore. Break me open. Do your worst. Tear me to bits. I don't care anymore. And in that, like, how strong is that? How strong is that? To be able to say, do you know what? Break me open. Hurt me. Do whatever you will. I give no fucks. Do you know what I mean? Like, just do your worst. Wow. What does that do to a person? That makes you fearless. That makes you invincible. That makes you, you know, an ultimate creator, because all of a sudden, no one's in charge of your power. You are. All of a sudden, it's like, well, do your worst. Do your worst. Break me open. And what happens as a result of that? You stand in your own power. You realize how invincible and strong you are, and just how much energy you have and how the universe is conspiring with you to create. You're being broken open this month, okay? You're being broken open this month, Virgo, in ways that I just see a new person emerging. I really do. And so, you know, that's great. I really love that. And where was Saturn's in the 5th house, wasn't he? So Saturn's in your 5th house, and he trined that full moon in your sign, which also trined Pallas Athena in your 9th house. So this is growth. This is growth and a new understanding of myself through disappointment in love, romance, self-confidence, self-esteem. It's almost like you realize the illusion just breaks down, you know? And this is what I love about us as human beings. We think we're so powerless. We think other people can trigger us. We think they have control over us. And, you know, we give so much power away. And it's just a game we play with ourselves. You know, it's like God hiding from himself, you know? And that's exactly what we do. We play this game with ourselves where we're like, we kind of, and we all do it, where somehow we make ourselves a victim of something. And it's almost like by actually going, you know what, do your worst, you realize you can't kill me. Like, what can you do? This cannot break me. I'm still standing. And you suddenly realize the power you hold within you. Okay? And this, as a result, Virgo, I see people being magnetized to you. I do. I see people being magnetized to you. Maybe not this month. I feel like this month you are undergoing a very serious and deep process, which has been triggered by the way you relate to other people, okay? Now, like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be romance. It could be issues at work. It could be something to do with a friendship or family member. It doesn't matter. But what it does have to do with is feelings of love, pain, loss, betrayal, hurt, disappointment, self-worth, confidence. That's what it centers around, okay? And so this month, like I said, I don't see you being superly sociable, but I think you know what a powerful time you've come into, right? And as such, I feel like you're following your own guidance, and you know what it's like when it's like when a little baby creature is born. There's a certain amount of time where it really needs to be protected until it gets its footing properly. That's where I feel you are, Virgo. I feel like you're getting your footing. Your perspective on yourself is changing. Jupiter going retrograde in your third house. Okay, what's that about? That's about shifting the way we're thinking, shifting what we understand. It's also about a shift in our courage, right? Your perspective of yourself is changing. And as a result, you don't want to have too many people clogging up your atmosphere or affecting your energy, because you're like that baby emerging. Do you see what I mean? And you need time. This needs time to gestate. This needs time for you to now get to know who this new powerful person is, who you've always been, by the way, but it was just masked by these patterns of whatever, whether it's codependency or giving your power away or needing approval from other people. It was masked by all of that, and now that's gone, you're finding out who you are again. So this is a time when I would recommend, Virgo, you take time to yourself and you build some structures for yourself, okay? We've got the Hierophant here in reverse. Now, I know Virgos, you're usually known for being very organized and that kind of thing, but this is saying to me that, I mean, first of all, for some of you, this may well be to do with work, okay? This experience may well be to do with how you're perceived at work, how much approval you get from work, how much recognition you get at work. And it could be, this is kind of telling me, if this is playing out in a work situation for you, this is kind of saying to me, you're not getting it from there. You're not going to get it from there. But that's great. You know what? That's fine, because you don't need it. We're getting to this point where Virgos, you don't need that outer validation. You don't need to think about what other people think of you. It's about you knowing you've done a good job. It's about you knowing you're worthy. So it may be that it's that looking to authority figures this month, looking to peers and maybe people you deem as being more knowledgeable or more successful than you. It may be that looking to them this month is not going to give you the validation that you want. But the great thing about that is, you know, the best teachers turn us back to ourselves. So when someone doesn't give you that validation, it's teaching you to validate yourself, okay? So that's what I like about this. And also what I will say, Virgo, is that this is a time for you to build new structures. So when we read this upright, okay, this is about structure to me as well. This is about structure. It's about, there's a tried and tested way of doing things. You have come out anew, Virgo. And what do we do with something that's, you know, that's new? We have to form structures around it to support it, to keep it, to allow it to grow, to allow it to become strong, okay? So you're being rebirthed, death, tower, you're being rebirthed as a result of using pain as your ally, right? You are in this phase and you're growing into this, but you need structure. So it's important, I will emphasize this a lot, Virgo, I want you to be building habits, routines every single day that support the birth and the emergence and the growth of who you now are. Okay, so whether that means that you're exercising every day, whether that means you're listening to inspiring stuff, or you're listening to Oprah every day, or you're journaling every day, or you're juicing, or whatever it is, make sure that you are supporting this new version of yourself, because without giving structure to this new form, without giving it the structure, without giving it the routine and the stability that it needs, you can end up going back into the cycle again, okay? You can end up going back into the pain again. You can end up almost losing, not losing, but like having to learn this again. And I don't want you to have to do this again. You don't need to, okay? This is over now. That's why he's reversed. This is over now. It's done with. You don't need to do it again. But what you do need to do is give this new whether even if it's a new idea, a new business, a new whatever it is, give it form, give it structure, give it every single day. Do something towards it or towards yourself, this new form that you now are, to shore that up, okay? Because I like to think of it in terms of like, you know how like, in order to create matter, energy has to flow a certain way for some period of time before it then all of that energy starts to solidify and become matter. That's kind of where we're at, okay? So that you have emerged anew, or this thing that you've been wanting to do has emerged anew and you're birthing it. But you got to every day flow energy towards it so that it becomes solid, and over time it grows and grows and grows, and it has roots and depth, and so it doesn't matter what happens, it can't be shook, right? Okay, so we're finishing off with the Five of Cups, which is interesting to me. I'm kind of wondering why this is here. So give me a moment, just let me think. This is the 5th house, okay? So we have Saturn in your 5th house, we've got Pluto in your 5th house, we've got Mars moving into your 5th house mid-month. Okay, now you've got all major arcana cards here. This is the only card that you have that isn't, right? So this is speaking to me about love. It's speaking to me about self-esteem, my self-worth, how I value myself, how confident I feel in myself. And you have to recognize that the theme I'm getting here is you cannot look outside yourself for ego strokes or for love or for approval. You will only be disappointed if you do. You'll be looking at the spilt cups. You've got two standing up behind you, okay? That's all you need. But I don't feel like looking outside of yourself for approval, for people to love you. I don't really feel that's going to be working so much this month, Virgo. It's not about that, because you come into a place which is so much bigger and so much stronger than that. And a god doesn't go running around searching. I'm sorry if you heard my tummy grumbling then, I'm really hungry. A god, a divine being, doesn't go around looking for constant validation that it's worthy, does it? No, it doesn't. It knows. And that's kind of where you're coming into, without trying to make it sound like too big a deal, but it is a big deal. It's about going forth saying, I know what I am, who I am, what I'm worth. And as such, that gives you so much power, because it means you go to relationships not to take from somebody. You go to relationships standing in your own worth, able to reflect back to people their own worth. And that is an attractive, powerful person. You're going to be, like I said, Virgo, you're going to be magnetizing. People are going to be drawn to you. First few weeks of this month, I would say, best to take time for yourself. Do what you've got to do. I don't even feel like you need to kind of go into deep meditation or anything. Just do what you've got to do, but take time for yourself. And then towards the end of March, especially coming into April, I see you attracting a lot into your life, and I see people just being drawn to you. But give yourself time to, I want to say, is it just state? Give this time to just be, okay? And give yourself time to get to know who this renewed Virgo is, okay? And whether this is to do with a project, before you put it out there, really get comfortable with it. Give it time so that you've allowed it to grow and you understand it before you put it out there. But more than anything, Virgos, this is to do with you on a personal level, okay? I love this so much. I could just stare at this all day. So just give me a moment, because I'm just going to I'm just looking, because can you see the patterns here? Because I really can. I love this. Death, Tower, Magician, reversed Hierophant, reversed Three of Swords. Sorry, I said they're all major arcana cards. They're not, but still, whatever. These four are. Yeah, both of these are reversed. The heartache, the pain of looking for love outside of myself, of putting my value in somebody else. And people are so fickle. Never put your value in somebody else. That is now over. Me looking for approval, for higher ups to make myself feel sure about myself. I can't rely on that anymore. It's about me. And this heartache has broken me open to my power, where I can no longer look to the past. I can no longer look to the cups, the emotions, the relationships that aren't giving. I can no longer look to them as my excuse to not step into my power. Wow, Virgo, I love it. 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 Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did, please tell me, how is this playing out for you? I would really, really like to know that. You know, what are you giving up? Is it giving up caring about how people see you? Is it giving up, you know, searching for the one and realizing that you've always been the one that you've been searching for? What is it? Tell me. I'm nosy. Okay, Virgos, I hope you enjoyed that. If so, please like and subscribe, and I'll be back next month with more. Take care. Much love. Bye-bye. I just wanted to add to that, Virgo, so I just had a thought as I walked away. What you're doing this month is you're saying to yourself, more than anything else, you're saying to yourself, I'm not that person anymore. And I haven't been that person for a long time, but I got so used to perceiving myself a certain way. I got so used to doing a certain thing, to linking up with certain people or to having a certain habit, that I thought I was still that person. But I changed a long time ago. I just never gave myself permission to see that I had changed and grown and transformed. It's almost like your perspective of yourself is catching up with who you now become. That's what I wanted to add. Okay, Virgo, love you guys. Bye.